Hello and welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. We got a nice little bullish candle here on the weekly for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is looking good. We are repairing the trend. We are showing signs that this 7-month consolidation is coming to an end. We're going to dive into the charts and we're going to take a look at all the things that get us excited about the market. The market, oh God, I'm so excited. The market doesn't give a fuck about Bitcoin. You probably hear that and think that that's a bad thing, but the only way that you get upside in this market is when people aren't paying attention to it. When people aren't paying attention to it, they lose interest, they close their tabs, they stop following price, and they start to look at other things, look at other markets, and become distracted with something else. Then the headlines start coming out. They start to see all of the things that are coming in, and they get the headline from CNBC, Bitcoin at 100K. And what do? They FOMO back in. They try and achieve the positions that they had prior, and they put more and more into this market. So I'm excited. We're going to take a look at the Google Analytics of the search term Bitcoin because it's kind of interesting. And then from there, we'll just leave it up to you guys. So leave your tickers in the chat if you want me to take a look at a specific coin. If you have any charts that you want me to take a look at, we now have the ability for us to look at those charts live on the live stream. If you go into the Discord, go to the live YouTube live chat room, you can post your links there for TradingView charts, and we can take a look at it and dissect your thoughts in real time here on the stream. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the king of all crypto. But before we do that, just a quick disclaimer. I am not your financial advisor. I am just some dude on the internet. Anything you see on this stream should not be taken as an endorsement or a recommendation for price or investments. These are simply my thoughts as I see them in the market. You got to do your own research, make your own decisions. Nothing that you find on this channel is going to be considered financial advice. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin here on the weekly chart. So this weekly candle that we just had is a doji. So a doji is characterized by an open and a close that are very close together, giving you a very small body, and you'll have a long wick on the top and a long wick on the bottom. And this is showing that there is a shift in the order books. You have the bears selling to the bulls, you have the bulls selling to the bears, and it's a reshuffling and reorganization of the order books. Those willing to sell are going to sell. Those willing to buy have bought. And we have this shift in the long-term perspective to the short-term perspective. And this is a bullish candle. You can see on the lower end of this candle, we went all the way down and tested the lower end of this newly established trading range, which we're going to be getting into in the smaller time frames. And we got bought right back up and even closed it green. So we got above the open, closed slightly above the open, and made this candle green as a doji. It's a bullish candle. It's a bullish candle. So let's go to some smaller time frames. Let's go down to the daily. And this is kind of the channel that I'm looking at right now. It's a tentative channel, meaning it hasn't really confirmed yet. It's not going to confirm until it can touch again at the upper end of the channel, but I'll kind of break down why I have this here. And it goes to basically, we've been in a downtrend, a high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then at this point, we began to change the trend inside of the consolidation. We had a low, we had a high, we have a higher low, and a higher high butting up against the resistance of this longer term channel. We then came back down to this lower end, this median line of the larger channel, and we got a bounce off of there. So we're now tentatively confirming this again, higher low. So we have a higher low, higher high structure inside of this consolidation, waiting to kind of break out of this old downward sloping line of resistance of the original channel with the help of the newly established structure of this newer channel. Let's get rid of all those drawings here. Quick announcement before we move on to the smaller time frames. Blowfin is now live. If you have been waiting for the Blowfin exchange to be integrated with our trading bot, Bangbox, you can now set up the Bangbox trading bot using Blowfin. And in conjunction with that announcement, we also have an offer from Blowfin themselves giving you a very generous deposit offer. All of these exchanges offer some sort of deposit offer, but very rarely do you get close to 30% of your deposit. Usually it's about 10%, sometimes 5%. This is a very limited offer from Blowfin. And yes, this does apply to those individuals who have been who have already signed up on Blowfin and have been waiting for Bangbox. If you've already signed up, you are also eligible, but this is eligible for newer users as well. Sign up, links below. Actually, I'll drop the links in the chat here so you can what was my partners? There we go. Go to the Blowfin link and start a new account and deposit anywhere from $30,000 to $10,000, or sorry, yeah. Deposit anywhere from $100,000 to $20,000, and you can get up to $10,000. So the top rank, if you put 20K in and do 35 million in volume, you get half of that back. Very generous bonus from Blowfin. This only lasts 2 weeks. So at midnight UTC time on October 25th, this will no longer be valid. So take advantage of it while you still can. All right, back to the TA. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's turn Bangbox off for just a moment. Don't need my pen tool. All right, let's see how many people are live. 12 people watching the horizontal stream, and we got 6 people watching on YouTube Shorts and some people on Twitter as well. So welcome in. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and do me a favor and hit the like button. The like button will help us rank higher on Twitch and YouTube. Or I guess Twitch doesn't. You watching ranks us higher, but YouTube, it does help. All right, so we have this kind of local range here on the 4 hour. I'm going to turn the RSI on and see what we can see. We had this bullish divergence that is playing out. Here we have a low and a lower low. And on the RSI, we had a low and a higher low. So the RSI is in disagreement with price, giving us a bullish divergence off the lows. We need to take out this area right here. If we can take out this high right here, it's very likely that we will continue that uptrend and maybe test. I would really like to see us break out of this channel. So we'll probably test here first at around $66,000, $65,000. If we break out of that, boom, we're going up to $72,000, and that would be a new all-time high. So I would love to see that, but you know, we'll start with the lower end targets here with the upper end of this green channel and the middle of this newly established yellow channel. Now let's go down to the 15 minute, see how we're doing there. 15 minute is consolidating. Let's turn Bangbox back on. We had a beautiful, beautiful trade just the other day, making up for all of the recent losses. I think the market is definitely shifting in our favor here. So get back on Bangbox. And for those who are on the green wave, I think we're going to flip the green wave too, which is where the really bullish and favorable environment for Bangbox takes place. But yeah, we had a beautiful 27% move here on, this is on the BitGet exchange, 27.74% move in Bang Box, one of our stronger moves for sure in this latest move here. And we're getting ready to kind of break out again and reset up. So what I think will happen is we'll probably retest this level here at around 62,000. Come back down, get a retest, maybe as a bullish divergence. Maybe we come down a little bit lower, test 61.5, something like that. But yeah, it's looking good. The higher time frames are definitely in our favor with that really bullish weekly close that we just got, and the daily looking good as well. Daily, nice little recovery candle on the daily. Retesting. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down and test this level again. So that would be a test of the low here at $62,000. Tuning in from the East Coast of the US. Right on. That's pretty late, isn't it? What's the time there? It's I guess it's not that late. 10 p.m. Sydney, Australia, battered and bruised. Welcome in. Good to see you. Oi from the land down under. Welcome in. Good to see you. Aussie Canuck, Discord member. Good to see you in the chat. If you guys aren't already in the Discord, I mean, most of you are. You're just hanging out. Like I said, the interest in Bitcoin is really low, so I'm not expecting a ton of new users coming to the Discord. But if you are watching this for the first time and you aren't already a Discord user, it's a free Discord. All of our services are free. The bots are free. Everything's free. Come and hang out. Come and ask questions. You don't even need to sign up to get into the free side of the Discord. We answer a lot of questions, a lot of fundamental questions on runes and stuff like that on the free side as well. So come on in and hang out. I'm on the treadmill. Supernova, another Discord member. Welcome in. Treadmill, nice. I am honored that I am your choice of viewing pleasure while you work out. All right. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I want to see how that rotation is going. So Bitcoin dominance kind of confuses a lot of people. I get a lot of strongly worded YouTube comments when I talk about Bitcoin dominance as it relates to altcoins, because what people hear is they hear me saying that altcoins don't outperform Bitcoin until this trends down. And I've never said that. I've never said that once. When the bull market's on, altcoins will perform. But in phase one of the bull market, the altcoin performance is either random or short term. Excuse me. Altcoin season, you hear the term altcoin season all the time, but in my opinion, I have very strict parameters on what that means. Altcoin season for me is when Bitcoin dominance is dropping against the market cap of the rest of the market, as well as the altcoin performance is not random and it's not short term. Altcoin season is when it doesn't matter what you're trading, it's trending up. The trades are easy, everything is in your favor, and it doesn't matter what you pick. You can pick, the old garbage from prior cycles, and it's still going to work. Phase one of the bull market, you do get outperformances in alts, but they're random and it's not everything. In fact, most altcoins don't outperform Bitcoin. That doesn't mean that there is an outlier. So I just wanted to add some clarity there. But I still expect Bitcoin dominance to continue to climb here. I have this little target here at around 60%. I could even see Bitcoin go beyond that. The reason I say that is because I believe when Bitcoin does break out of this consolidation and take out the high, I feel like in a very short amount of time, we'd be looking at $100,000 Bitcoin in a surprisingly short amount of time. And if that is the case, I don't think alts are quite ready for that same sort of high velocity move. So that naturally just means that the dominance of Bitcoin, which is currently at 57%, if the market cap is rising that quickly, you're going to see green candles on this chart. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get to 60. I wouldn't even be surprised if we got to 61 or 62% Bitcoin dominance in that context of Bitcoin finally breaking out of that long-term accumulation and heading to the upside quicker than the alts can keep up. The alts will be going up. It's just Bitcoin will be going up faster. So I just wanted to add some clarity there. Can you check the monthly chart? Yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the monthly. This is Bitcoin dominance. Monthly chart looks good. Nice little recovery here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a green close on the month, which is not, I mean, a lot can happen in 17 days. That's going to be a really bullish candle. We had a wick down, testing the open of the prior candle, almost perfectly testing the open of the prior candle, and it got bought back up. The bulls are here. The bulls are buying the dips, and people aren't selling. The amount of selling that's happened is slowing down. If we take a look at volume, you can see overall volume is declining, both buying and selling. So if the selling is declining and price is rising, then we can only assume that it's getting easier to move the price in the direction that we're looking for, the favorable bullish direction. So yeah, monthly's looking good as well. All the high time frames are looking great, in my opinion. All right, back over. I like to do, so diving into the altcoin performance just a little bit more. Let's go to Bitcoin and let's add total 2 and total 3. So for those who don't know, total 2 is the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin. And total 3 is the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we'll put Bitcoin on the chart. Let's add total 2. And the reason I do this is, again, to measure where we are in the different phases as it relates to Bitcoin dominance and altcoin performance. Got something in my throat today. Excuse me. All right, we'll turn the line chart here on Bitcoin. Let's see what the performance has been year to date. So year to date, Bitcoin is up 41%. Total 3 is up 16%, and total 2 is up 12%. So another way of looking at this is until these two lines, total 2 and total 3, get above Bitcoin's performance from a year to date or a year in frame point of view, we're also not in altcoin season. It's coming, believe me. I know some people hear what I'm saying and they think that I'm bearish. I'm not bearish. I'm just waiting for that rotation into alts that I haven't seen gone really, I haven't seen a high conviction rotation into alts. There's random shit, but that's all insider trading stuff that's very hard for the retail investor to pick a winner on. If you are not an insider, just ask yourself, are you an insider? Do you know what people are trading before it gets to market? If the answer is no, then the better trading environment for you specifically is when Bitcoin dominance is going down and when total 2 and total 3 are at a higher valuation than Bitcoin. If you're not an insider, you're at a serious disadvantage. The insider trading that's happening in the market is confusing people into thinking that, the alts are the place to be. They are the place to be for the insiders, not you. Sorry. Somebody's at the door and I got the door locked there. I don't know how to communicate that. Do I give him an X? Sorry. Go away. I'm live streaming. All right, let's take a look at the traditional markets. We don't need this anymore. And traditional markets are just killing it. Absolutely killing it. The S&P is at all-time highs. The NASDAQ is almost at all-time highs. So when the NASDAQ catches up and does those, breaks the structure of all-time high, we're going to be on full risk appetite in the market. I think once the NASDAQ catches up and breaks the all-time high, that's when you're going to see rotation into other higher risk assets. Right now, let's actually go and take a look at the Google terms. That's what I wanted to talk about. So Google searches for Bitcoin are really low, really low. They're basically non-existent. The highest search volumes are coming from the areas that are fundamentally interested in Bitcoin. This is really bullish to me because, you know, El Salvador, what's the purpose of Bitcoin in El Salvador? It's their currency. So more and more people in El Salvador are researching Bitcoin. Some of this search volume could come from Bitcoin tourists who are in El Salvador that are searching Bitcoin using Google. But, you know, you can look at Nigeria as well. Nigeria is adopting Bitcoin more and more and more, and you're getting the search volumes from those areas increasing. Netherlands as well has a lot of stuff going on with Bitcoin. I'm not sure what's going on. If you are in the Netherlands and you can kind of give your take onto why search volumes in the Netherlands are so high, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on that. Switzerland as well. Switzerland just, you know, likes money. But here's the interesting thing. If we go down a few, so I'm Canadian. Canada's number 11 in search terms, which is really great to see. I like to see that the Canadians are you know, searching Bitcoin and doing the research and finding out what they need to know about what's coming up in the market cycle here. But when you look at kind of like the richer countries, you know, the United States being one of them, even the UAE is only 22 in terms of search terms. If we go, United States is 28, ranked 28. The United States does not care about Bitcoin right now. It's not on their radar. So that just tells me that there's a lot of people that don't realize that Bitcoin's at the price that it's at, and they don't realize that we're trending to the upside. Kind of an interesting metric to look at. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, nice recovery. It was down the other day, I guess 2 days ago now. And we're now trending back up. Gold is just doing really, really well. It's interesting to see the stock market at all-time highs and gold at all-time highs. Usually gold is a hedge against inflation and a hedge against the stock market. They're not always, but sometimes they're inversely correlated. So it's nice to see that gold and stocks are performing really, really well, both of which are just playing catch up on Bitcoin as it stands right now, but they're both performing well on the short term. Let's take a look at the dollar. Dollar getting above the mean line. So, you know, that could slow down the velocity of things. But we are seeing all-time highs in these markets. But what will really accelerate that, what will really begin to accelerate the velocity of those other assets is going to be when the dollar is falling. Excuse me. I am really got a frog in my throat today. Okay, so yeah, we want to see this fall. And I want to see this actually break out to the downside below this trading range. And that will be serious acceleration. Now, the central banks around the world at this point, I believe, are printing at a higher rate than the US dollar. The US dollar is not being printed very heavily. And part of that could be because of the election. I think they want to add as much stability as they can to the election. How that works behind the scenes, I have no idea. But it'll be interesting to see what happens post-election with a lot of these things. I want to see what happens with the stock market. I want to see what happens with gold. I want to see what happens with the dollar. And we are in kind of a holding pattern as it stands right now because of the election. That's, only a couple weeks away now. It's the 14th. Yeah. What are we looking at in terms of days? So basically 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 3 weeks away from the election. So it's coming. It's coming real fast. So yeah, what I would like to see is a breakdown. Currently at resistance, so let's see that rotation. Let's pivot at the median line. Otherwise, we'll have to pivot up here, which will be more of a stall. Not impossible. You can watch the dollar and see if we go up to this level, but I would prefer to see it pivot here. All right. ETH BTC, do I bother? No. Not going to bother with ETH BTC. Let's see what's going on in the Discord. No chat coming in from the Discord. All right, well, let's take a look at some memes actually. So there's a very interesting thing happening this cycle. And the interesting thing is memes are just the fucking play. It's really, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I have theories, but memes have just been so strong this cycle, and I don't know what that is a reflection of. How does that reflect in terms of where we are as an investment, where we are as an investment? What is going on? Why are memes so prevalent in the space right now? And I think it has to do with just the fact that at least some of the OGs, they've come to the realization that the fundamentals of tokens don't matter. Last cycle, it was all about DeFi and yield and smart contracts and functionality and token distribution and blah, 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 blah. And this cycle, it's just about memes. They're gambling chips. It's just tokens. And I think some of that has to do with the fact that there is so much venture capital money in the space from last cycle, investing like they were last cycle. And we've seen that every single venture capital play, as it plays out and hits the market, just drops significantly. A really noteworthy one is probably ICP. ICP hit the market with like a $10 billion market cap and then just tanked. It went all the way up to here at $2,800 when it launched on Binance. And now it's at $7. Just absolutely tanked. And this was a heavily backed venture capital project. And why that's a problem is the venture capitalists, by the time you list, it's already done 100x. So you have the pre-seed, you have the seed, you have phase 1, you have phase 2. By the time it actually makes it to the exchange listing, everybody on the inside is already up 100x. And what do when it lists? They dump their tokens. Why memes are different is the venture capitalists aren't in them. And I think that's the only redeeming characteristic of meme coins. They fully are just fucking gambling. But the point I'm trying to make here is I think the market only cares about gambling. Unless you are a Bitcoin investor, if you're in altcoins, you're in them to gamble. That's why you're doing it. You're not actually invested in the underlying tech. You're buying them because you're trying to either outperform the dollar or outperform Bitcoin. And why memes are interesting is the venture capitalists aren't in them. They're truly launched by community members. Don't get me wrong, there's insiders to these, communities. There's insider whales and, people who are definitely manipulating behind the scenes, but it's not the venture capital money. You don't have the pre-seed, you don't have the seed, you don't have all these funding rounds, and then an exchange listing. These things are just birthed onto the scene, directly onto the blockchain, whether it's Solana, whether it's Base, whether it's Ordinals. They just exist on the blockchain from day one, and investors can get into them, which is interesting. It's interesting to me. So let's take a look at a couple here. Popcat was one that somebody mentioned the other day. Looks to be topping out here. Yeah, Popcat looks to be topping out. So this one might get a little bit of a retracement. Some of the ordinals like Ordi. Ordinals have been sleeping. They had a huge rally back here in early 2023. And they've been sleeping for over a year now. But yeah, they could be waking up pretty soon. Let's take a look at Sats. Sats, similar structure to Ordi. Ordi looks to be at a decent price, decent level as it stands right now. Ton, not really a meme coin, but a platform to launch meme coins. Not the greatest structure, if I'm being honest. Let's kind of move this down here. This is kind of the line in the sand for Ton coin. What are some more popular memes? There's Flocky. Flocky had its day, had its time in the sun back in March. Hasn't done much since. Marco Saldana. Hey, mate, hope you're having a good day. So far, so good. Can you tell me which exchanges the bot is available? Yes, it is available on Blowfin and BitGet. Links in the description. If you're actually, you are on, hold on, let me get you some links. There you go. Any of those will work. Blowfin and BitGet for the bot. Bybit's not ready yet, so do Blowfin or BitGet. Where was I? Yeah, let's take a look at some of these top memes. Do you guys know some memes that have been popular? I'm not in the meme scene just yet. Again, I'm kind of waiting for that rotation. But what I'm noticing and what I'm seeing is I think memes are going to do really, really well this cycle. As much as I hate that, I think it's ridiculous. You got to put your biases aside and you need to look at what the market has an appetite for. And the market has an appetite for these, fair launch, community-driven projects that have no fundamentals whatsoever. Bonk. Yeah, Bonk is one. But that's what the market wants, man. Don't hate it. Don't date it. Just trade it. Bonk, not much to go with off there. It hasn't done a whole lot. It probably made most of its money off chain before the listing, but it didn't have a mega dump when Binance listed it either. So this is kind of telling to the thesis that I'm going with. Bonk didn't dump when it listed on Binance. Why? Because the venture capitals weren't at 100x just waiting to sell and liquidate and go on to the next thing. So the venture capitalists aren't in these tokens. They're more, quote unquote, fair. Let's take a look at the SHIB army. Yeah, this one's very similar to the structure we're seeing on Doge. Almost exactly the same, really. Yeah, so keep an eye, and not financial advice, but just be objective to what you're witnessing in the market. Are you witnessing the same thing that I am witnessing? Are you seeing the appetite for coins that have little to no fundamental value as opposed to what we saw in prior cycles? If you're from the prior cycles, if you were in 2020, 2021, if you were in that cycle, what were the coins that were performing well? It was innovations, it was smart contracts, it was different ways of doing tokenomics and yield and all of this stuff. All that's gone. You launch a token with that much complexity, it's going to zero. If you do that today, it's gone. If you launch a token about a hamster, boom, it's 100x overnight. You got to be objective to what we're seeing in the markets. Let's take a look at a few ordinals. That's kind of more my wheelhouse. And the place I like to look is Magic Eden. We're on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at some of the runes. Runes have been getting a lot of attention recently, and that's a good thing to see. It's a good thing to say. You know, Casey Rodimer was really criticized quite a bit when he launched the runes protocol, because ordinals overall were really overbought, and the runes didn't perform. But what he said right from the get-go is people want to gamble on meme coins, so you may as well just make meme coins on Bitcoin. And he did. And when it launched, nobody made any money. But now we're starting to see the market dynamics shift. It's become quiet. People have become disinterested. The people who are in the know understand the upside. And we're starting to see performances again. So Dog, this was an airdrop. If you've been in the ordinal space for a while, you probably are sitting on a shit ton of this, because this was airdropped to several wallets. It's been on a nice rally. It's rallied up from 4 sats all the way up to 9 sats, so over 100% move in the last, since September, middle of September. Market cap at $500 million market cap for Dog Go to Moon. And the volume in the last day, we're doing 10 Bitcoin in volume a day. That's $600,000 worth of volume a day, which is not big, by the way. From a market perspective, that's not a lot, but from a runes and ordinals perspective, that is a lot. So that's interesting. Let's take a look. Go to the top rooms thing. This one has been in the market's eye for a while here. Let's see if this one's topping out. This one looks to be a little bit distributional. So this is $1 billion cat. It's a choppy consolidation. It could definitely continue its uptrend. But look, in the last month, this has been up only. It's been up only. Up 875% in the last month. One that I'm looking at is Based Internet Panda. This one's a really low cap. Same sort of story. Same sort of story. It's it's definitely a choppy, toppy looking action right here. So please proceed with caution. As it stands right now, we are below our entry. We entered at 18 sats in the private group, sitting at 17 sats. 531% upside move. And then there's another one that's interesting, that the hamster one, Seiko Hamster. I say interesting like so loosely. There's nothing interesting about these, like, at all. 761%. So similar moves to $1 billion cat. Watch out for runes. Take a look at runes. If you haven't already got into the Bitcoin ecosystem, Solana has been a really good place to be, both investing in Solana and investing in the meme coin scene of Solana. Base had a little bit of a sizzle. Didn't get into Base because fuck Coinbase. I got other things that I can look at. But ordinals have been where I have spent the majority of my time in research. And a lot of that is rooted in the fact that I'm a Bitcoin maxi. If you're going to have a shitcoin, put it on Bitcoin. You just run it on Bitcoin. I want the underlying asset that I'm getting paid out in to be sats. I want to get paid in Bitcoin. I want to measure in Bitcoin. I want to get paid in Bitcoin. I like the privacy of Bitcoin that all those other chains don't offer you. This is a much better option for me. So I've been doing the majority of my analysis and the majority of my research, again, using very loose terms here, we're talking about garbage shitcoin memes that are for gambling, on the Bitcoin protocol and the Bitcoin ecosystem. We're about to have smart contracts on Bitcoin with the TAP launch. TAP is launching in a few days. I think on the 21st is the announcement now, which is going to bring liquidity pools. It's going to bring swaps. It's going to bring trading dexes. It's going to bring a whole bunch of stuff that is settled on layer 1, denominated in Bitcoin. So I'm pretty excited about that. Take a look at Gari Network. Yeah, let's, I need to refresh my mind on what Gari is. Metaverse gaming. Oh, it's a, oh no. Gari.network. World's largest Web3 audio and video live streaming platform. Yeah, so will it do well in altcoin season? Yes, absolutely. But this is going with the narrative that I'm currently against right now, in the sense that this is too fundamental. I think for me, this is too fundamental. With what we're seeing in the market right now, this should be nothing. It should just be a picture of a cat, and that will do way better than an actual infrastructure play. I don't think infrastructures are going to do as well as the other ones. Let's take a look at the chart here. As ridiculous as that sounds, that's how I think. That's what I believe. And oof, this is a bad one. This is, from a technical point of view, this is absolute dog shit. Sorry, I hope I'm not offending too much, but you know, there's no structure that's built here. You're still in a macro downtrend. Most altcoins are at least in some sort of a flat structure with a newly established high, what's known as kind of a sign of strength in Wyckoff. We have none of that here. So from a technical point of view, you know, your understanding of the project may differ from mine, but from a technical point of view, this is a no-go for me. It's counter to the narrative that I'm leaning into, and technically speaking, it doesn't have good technicals either. Any thoughts about Sui? Again, I need to remind myself of all these projects. Sui, I think, is a smart contract platform. Layer 1 smart contract platforms, especially if they're hosting meme coins this cycle, I think will do well, because you know you need a network for the memes. Build beyond. Sui delivers the benefits of Web 3 with the ease of Web 2. All right. Infrastructure. Yeah. So this will perform well in an altcoin season, but it's not going to do better than memes, in my opinion. We just broke out. We just broke out past the high. So actually, we covered Sui on the last week's show, or a couple days ago. We were covering Sui, and this was below that line that I drew. So now we have a technical higher high. This is a very good structural play from a TA point of view. So this is looking good, actually. From a technical point of view, this is what you want to see. We have had kind of an up-only environment here. So I would like to see some sort of consolidation take place. If you were really eager and chomping at the bit to take a new position here, any new position I would take at these levels, I would be very conservative. I wouldn't put more than 20% of my anticipated position in this, and your total position should equate to like 1 or 2% of your total portfolio. So you'd be looking at 0.4% of your total portfolio as an initial buy, just to get some skin in the game and pay attention. But what I would prefer to see is a little bit of a cool down, reset the RSI here, at least on the daily, get to kind of below the 30 line on the RSI, and have some sort of accumulation take place above this established support/resistance flip that we've drawn here, and then a breakout of that would be a far better entry to go a little bit heavier into something like that. But buying here after all of this, I do not recommend. You know, from the lows here, we're looking at from the low of this rally right here, it's up 200%. So a 200% rally in a pretty lethargic market is a lot. So just proceed with caution. That's all I got to say. Blue, the most consistent person I've ever seen in 4 years. Oh, thanks for watching for 4 years. I try, do my best. So that's Sui. Let's see what some of the hot coins are right now. Let's see what just automatically populates. Trending. Sui is trending. Oh, this fucking thing. Yeah. SPX 6900. Yeah. Don't buy SPX 6900, people. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not buy this. This coin's done. It has gone up so high, so fast. If you hold a position in this, not financial advice, I don't want to be held liable for, you know, discrepancies. But if you are holding this token, you need to do some very serious assessments of how you want to handle a position that's done this. Let's take a look at it on TradingView, SPX 6900. Pray to the BTC gods to pump our bags. Please, please, Satoshi, pump our bags. Yeah, just obscene. What is this, guys? Okay, so it's done a 250x. If you are holding SPX 6900 as a new position, be fucking careful. Really fucking careful. That is a rug pull waiting to happen. MAGA hat. Oh God. So, but you know, this is what I'm talking about. The memes, they do nothing. Like SPX, let me show you. Let's go back to SPX 6900 and let's look at the website. And I'm going to show you what we're in for this ridiculous market and what's like really exciting for these people. 6,900 traders stormed the New York Stock. So, okay, this is a little bit more involved than I thought. I don't know what this is, to be perfectly honest with you. It looks like a bunch of something, but I guarantee it's a bunch of nothing. So this is very likely just a meme coin that's got a very confusing website. Yeah, a meme coin, a meme token birthed from the depths of internet culture. So yeah, it's a meme coin on Base and Solana and Ethereum. So this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. These stupid coins that have no value whatsoever are doing 250x in like a matter of days. If you experience a 250x, take some fucking profits. Take some fucking profits. MAGA hat. Let's see if this one shows up on TradingView. Yep, it shows up on Poloniex of all places. Not a bad structure, to be honest with you. Had a downtrend, accumulation, sign of strength. This is kind of a Wyckoff setup. You know, as we get closer and closer to the election, this one will probably rally. If Trump wins, this thing will pump hard, and then it'll probably be time to sell. Don't forget that these are all pump and dumps, okay? This is a game. It's gambling. It's gambling. You can't just keep gambling. You can't keep holding on to these things. These are not investments. They're tokens. They're chips. They're gambling chips. You got to cash out at some point. So don't get too greedy on these things. There's no long-term holding. If you're in these communities and they're talking all this nonsense and sharing memes saying never selling, blah, 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 all that shit, it's garbage. Don't listen to it. Every time they post the meme never selling, they're selling. Giga Chad. See, all of the top ones, all of the hot, look at this. Okay, Sui, not a meme. SPX, meme. MAGA, meme. Brett, meme. Giga, meme. Mogcoin, meme. They're all memes. And look at the two that aren't memes. The two that aren't memes are up 0.6% and 0.79%. The memes are up 5, 3, 13, 11, 10%. This is what I'm talking about. As unfortunate as this is and how reflexive of the nihilism that exists in the world today, this is a reflection of the human condition and how hard it is out there. People have lost all hope. People have lost all rational reason to make money in this market. So they've resorted to just gambling. That's what's happening. As terrible as that is, that's what's happening. So, you know, if you're really, really against memes, your coins aren't going to pump as hard. They're just not. Let's take a look at Giga Chad. Yeah, big move. Big move up on Giga Chad. What about CLSK on the NASDAQ? Bitcoin miner? Yeah, let's take a look at some, let's take a look at MicroStrategy and some Bitcoin miners. Giga Chad. Up 270% from the lows of the exchange listing to the highs, 700%. All right, let's take a look at CleanSpark. CleanSpark. For those who don't know, CleanSpark is a Bitcoin mining company that only invests in clean energy sources for Bitcoin. So they only mine Bitcoin with clean energy. The number one source of electricity that they go for is hydro, but CleanSpark is a green energy only Bitcoin miner, which I think is a very strategic and interesting play. I drew this support/resistance flip a while ago. It's been months and months, if not a year, since I've looked at CleanSpark, but it's still holding true. And we're sitting on top of support as it stands right now. So this is a way to kind of get leverage, a leveraged Bitcoin position. Full disclosure, I don't buy stocks. I'm never going to buy stocks. I don't care if the stocks are outperforming. Me personally, I'm not going to buy stocks, but I can absolutely share my thoughts on these things. It has nothing to do with the stock not having the ability to perform. It's just me caring about my privacy, caring about control of my assets, and preferring not to enter the stock market. It's just toxic Bitcoin maxi shit. So don't worry about me. There's nothing wrong with stocks. They're just not for me. So if you are looking for kind of a Bitcoin leveraged play, this one could be good. This one could be good. CleanSpark, solid company. I met them in Las Vegas when they were at Unconfiscatable. Solid guys, really smart individuals. They know how to run a company. Very, very compliant-oriented company. They're trying to be one of the bigger miners in the space, specifically in the US. I think they're great. I think they're great. And, you know, I expect the stock to perform well. Yeah, let's take a look at MicroStrategy. MSTR. MicroStrategy. So the thing about MicroStrategy to take into consideration is, yes, it is a leveraged play on Bitcoin, but unlike the mining stocks, MicroStrategy is overvalued. I think the mining stocks are undervalued currently. And I think MicroStrategy, well, I know MicroStrategy is overvalued. When you look at the market cap of MicroStrategy versus its Bitcoin holdings, it's already at like 20 times its appropriate valuation. If its entire business model is hold Bitcoin, then you're really just valuing it based on a company holding Bitcoin. And you can't put too much future emphasis on that when we're already at 20 times the value of the Bitcoin that they're holding. But, you know, the market likes them some MicroStrategy. And yeah, it's going pretty well. Not one that I would be interested in buying at these prices. Personally, it's done an exceptionally well job so far. Already up 1,200%. Bitcoin is not up 1,200%. So yeah, MicroStrategy is very interesting. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, holding Bitcoin mining stocks and bought MicroStrategy. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with stocks. MicroStrategy is crazy. Just be careful with new position. Do I think it's going to continue? Yeah. If Bitcoin continues to do well, MicroStrategy is going to continue to do well. The unfortunate thing about this, though, is one day Bitcoin is going to go into a bear market. And when that happens, MicroStrategy is going to have a collapse. They're really, really going to lose a ton of money in valuation. And I think it'll probably be one of the biggest retracements in a stock on the stock market in probably a while. It'll be, you know, all over the news, one of the biggest companies to receive recognition from a Bitcoin bull market. And when the market turns bearish and sentiment turns bearish and the news turns negative, MicroStrategy is going to be at the brunt of that big time. So people are going to be very upset with MicroStrategy. So hopefully they don't pile on too much leverage on the way up, as their valuation will get increasingly larger, because they don't want to get margin called on the way down. I wouldn't be surprised if, when this is all said and done, MicroStrategy does like an 80% retrace. Blowfin tutorial, please. Yes, the Blowfin tutorial is coming very, very soon. All we have currently is a tutorial that is the BitGet tutorial. The process is the same. Interacting with the web application is the same. If you go on to the black box dashboard and you go to API connections and you start a connection with Blowfin, it also kind of walks you through the process. So it'll tell you which boxes need to be checked, and you can go through the process like that. But there is going to be a Blowfin tutorial video coming in the next day or two. So expect that. But the BitGet tutorial video that's attached to it right now, in my opinion, shows enough of the process that you should be able to figure it out. But if you want to wait for the specific tutorial, it's coming. Have you heard about Welsh? No. Welsh. Corgi coin. Oh yeah. Nice. Nice. Kind of already pumped and dumped. Not sure if this one will take off again. It needs to take out the highs here. It needs to take out this high for me to get for me to say that it's a good setup. Look at this support / resistance flip right here. Resistance, support, resistance, resistance. Until you can get above that, it's probably not going to go into a sustained rally. It'll be choppy, hard to trade until it gets above that point. If it does get a point above that point with volume and market attention, it could do very well. But as it stands right now, probably not the greatest pick. There's a very short shelf life with memes too. I've observed that, you know, these OG memes, they don't last because the community rugs. It's very hard to get more than one substantial pump out of a meme. You need to be in the meme before the pump. And once you get that pump, it's done. Not always, but often. If you guys aren't already in the Discord, scan the QR code that's popping up on the screen right now if you're watching on Twitch or if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching the YouTube shorts, you don't see a QR code. So you got to go over to the main channel to get into the Discord. But it is free. We don't ask for anything other than you to trade. If you get a trade set up or you use one of our bots, it needs to go through one of our partnered exchanges. That's the only catch. These are fees that you pay anyways. If you're trading on a centralized exchange, guess what? You're paying fees. The fees are standard across all exchanges. It is 0.06% taker fees and 0.02% maker fees. And you pay that regardless of where you are trading. So if you want to get into a group that's not, gouging you $250, $500 a month for these services, come on in. And if you haven't already created a Blowfin account, we have a beautiful, damn near 50% of your bonus back being offered currently with Blowfin. So if you deposit $100, you can get a $30 bonus. Or if you deposit $20,000, you can get almost half of that back in a futures bonus. There is conditions, so please read that. All that information is on the Discord. But yeah, get a new Blowfin account and start trading with Bangbox. I'll join the community. You need to go now? No worries. Have a good one. We'll see you in there, Marco. Have a good day. All right, how long have we been going here? About an hour. That's usually what I stream for. Did we get any chats in the live stream chat? Nope. Yeah, so the point of the live stream chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to share charts, if you have charting ideas or you want feedback on your chart, we can take a look at that. Take a look at your chart art and see what kind of constructive criticisms we could go towards your trading ideas and decisions. So that's what that's there for, if you're so inclined. All right, I think I will close things out there. So thank you all for joining in. Thanks for everybody who is using the bot. If you are on Blowfin and you've been waiting, thank you for waiting. That took longer than we anticipated to get Blowfin integration back or get Blowfin integration up and running. It is now live. You can run your bots on Blowfin. There's more bots coming down the pipe. We have an exciting few weeks ahead of us here. We're going to do some big releases. And so be sure you're in the Discord and tune in for all of that stuff. Everything's always going to be free. So, there's no premium offer as of yet, but do take advantage of the Blowfin deal. It's only on for 2 weeks. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.